Hello, everybody, and welcome to our session on Edpuzzle and Google Classroom. Now, we're just going to give folks a minute or so to make sure everyone can be logged in and set up before we get started. So while you wait, I'm just publishing a poll question right now asking which of these is the best description of your current experience with Edpuzzle and Google Classroom. So let me know a little bit about how much experience you have so I can make sure I am giving all of you the information that you need. So hello to anyone who just got logged on. We're just taking another 20 or 30 seconds to give everyone a chance to get set up. And while we wait, please take a moment to answer this poll question on the right side of your screen, asking which is the best description of your current experience with Edpuzzle and Google Classroom. Help me make sure I'm giving you the content and the information that you need. So please, everyone, fill out that poll as you get logged in. All right, it's been just about a minute, and so we're going to get started. I just want to cover two small housekeeping items before we dive in. First, I want to say that this entire webinar is going to be recorded. And so please don't feel like you need to take notes or copy everything you see me doing in real time. Know that you'll be able to rewatch and replay this webinar as many times as you want afterwards. And so hopefully you can just be here and focusing on what we're learning about during this time. Secondly, there are a lot of you online right now, and there's only one of me. And I'm not going to be able to get through all of the information I want to present, as well as respond to each and every one of your questions in real time. So instead, what I'll do is post my email address right now up at the top of the chat window. And so please, if you have any questions throughout the webinar, or if you feel like you need more information afterwards, don't hesitate to send me an email, and I promise to get back to each and every one of you as soon as we finish this webinar. Great. So I'm going to click end on this poll, and we can dive straight in. The first thing I want to talk about very briefly is what is Edpuzzle. And so if you've never heard of us before, Edpuzzle is a way for you to choose any video from YouTube, to embed your own assessment questions into that video, and then to track and monitor your students' progresses as they go through that video. So it's a really easy, simple to use tool, but it's a powerful way at making videos more effective for your students. And today we'll be looking specifically about how Edpuzzle works with Google Classroom, how you can import your Google Classroom classes and all of your students directly into Edpuzzle, how you can post assignments from Edpuzzle directly onto your Google Classroom page, and how the grades between Edpuzzle and Google Classroom will sync automatically. And so the rest of this session is going to be entirely practical, and we're going to walk through every step you need to do to be successful. And so we'll start right at the very beginning, which is making sure that all of you know how to create an account on Edpuzzle. And so let me flip you over to my screen right now. And I'm going to shrink myself down so that you can see. And I'm on edpuzzle.com. And I'm going to come up to the top right corner and sign up. And I will be signing up as a teacher. Great. Now, because we're using Google Classroom, you should sign in with your Google account. Use the same account that you're using for Google Classroom to sign in with Edpuzzle. Perfect. Now we'll just have to put in a little information. So we'll come up with a password. If a teacher's given you a referral code, you can put that in. And then you'll just agree to our terms and services and click create an account. Now you need to join your school. So you'll type your school name into this bar, and it should pop up in the drop-down menu. If it doesn't, don't be worried. We always have an option at the bottom to add a new school to our list. So you can just add your school if it's not there. But otherwise, you'll select your school, and then you'll need to select which subject you teach so we can recommend good content for you. Now join your school, and you're almost done. The last thing is if you see this blue bar at the top of your window, it means you need to head to your email inbox and verify your account before you do anything else. And that's it. Now we have our account set up. So let me flip you back over and we'll be ready to keep moving. So now that you have an Edpuzzle account, the next thing you probably want to do is sync your classes from Google Classroom onto Edpuzzle. And so we'll go through this part next. Let me flip you back over to my screen. And here I am on the Edpuzzle homepage. So to sync my classes, I'll come up to the top right corner and click on My Classes. Now, if this is your first time creating a class, you'll see this option for Google Classroom, and you'll just click on that. Now make sure you select the correct Google account that has your classes in it, and then just give Google permission to talk with Edpuzzle. Once you do that, you'll see all of your Google classes pop up on the left-hand side, and you can choose to import one, some, or all of your classes at the same time. Just click Import, and Edpuzzle will do the rest of the work for you. You can see now our classes are imported, they are ready to go, and best of all of your students will import automatically. You don't have to worry about getting them to join Edpuzzle or anything like that. Your students are automatically synced with our platform. Now, if you ever have more students join throughout the year or some students leave your class, you can always update this list. Just on the right-hand side, right in that grayish bar, you can come and click Import Students, and that's going to update your list. So if you ever have more students join throughout the year, don't worry, we have you there as well. And that's all there is for creating a class or syncing your classes from Google Classroom onto Edpuzzle. Great. So I know there's a lot of steps, and we really just finished the logistical setup of Edpuzzle and Google Classroom. So I want to take a minute and pause and make sure that you all are feeling confident with what we've covered so far. So I'm just clicking Publish on a poll right now, asking, how confident do you feel that you can create an account and get your classes imported to Edpuzzle? So let me know. Is this something you're feeling like, I can definitely do this? I think I can do this. Or I need some more support before I'll be able to do this successfully. So please, if all of you could take about 5, maybe 7 seconds to complete this poll, it'll make sure I know that you're all following along and we're ready to keep moving. So I'm going to go ahead and click End Poll. Okay, great. It seems most of you are around that somewhat confident category, and some of you are even feeling very confident. That's great. I see there's a small subset of you who are still not feeling very confident or only a little bit confident. And maybe that's because you've run into a few errors. So I want to actually post a link right now to one of our Edpuzzle Help Center articles. This runs through a couple troubleshooting issues you might have, and generally you can fix whatever issues you might be having syncing those classes in maybe 1 or 2 minutes. And so if you're not feeling confident because you have run into some specific tech problems, I recommend you check out that Help Center article right after this webinar, and hopefully that can get you back on the right track. But because most of us are feeling pretty good, let's keep on rolling. And now that we have everything set up, the next thing we can look at is how to find a video, edit that video, and then assign it. And specifically, we'll be seeing how you can assign a video so it posts directly onto your Google Classroom page. And so let me flip you back over to my screen again. And here I am in my class, and we'll start finding some content. Now, probably the easiest would just be use this big search bar on the top. But we also have some great resources on our homepage, so we'll check out some of those first. On our homepage, we have this curriculum tab on the left-hand side, and that's going to have videos organized by elementary school, by middle school, and by high school. And I really recommend that you come to the curriculum tab when you need content fast. It's a great way to have a video ready to go with almost no work on your part. So let's say I'm a high school teacher and that I teach high school math, okay? And I'm teaching a course right now on pre-algebra, and I need a video covering, let's do negative numbers. Now I want to introduce my students to negative numbers. Bam. There are all these videos I can choose from. Often they're coming with these pre-embedded, ready-to-go questions. And so very quickly, I can have a video ready for my class that day. So the curriculum channel, great when you're in a rush. Another great place to look is right underneath that on the left-hand side. We have your school channel. Now mine says Edpuzzle. You'll see your school's name. And this is a great place to let you collaborate with other teachers in your school. So you'll be able to see all of the teachers in your school who use Edpuzzle. And so if there's a teacher who teaches the same subject or the same grade level as you, you can see what videos they're using and just reuse and reassign any of those videos to your class. So it's a huge time saver that way. So I really recommend the school channel to collaborate with other teachers. Now we have these popular channels. I personally love National Geographic footage. I think it's incredible. And as a 5th grade teacher, I used to teach a unit on the solar system. And so a quick search I'll find all of this content related to the solar system, and it's all coming from National Geographic. So it's the content I need coming from a source that I trust. But let's search in the main search bar for now. Let's search for adding mixed numbers and see what we can find. Great. Here are search results. And what I want to point out is these are coming from Edpuzzle, which means that other teachers have used these videos. And so often they have these pre-embedded questions in them. And you can see that in these little teardrop icons below each video. Again, this is a huge time saver because now I don't need to spend the time embedding these questions and typing them out. They're already there, ready to go. Now, of course, if you want more options, you can always see more options just down below. We have lots to choose from. Or if you're the kind of teacher who wants to do everything yourself, we have those empty videos with no questions in them just down below. But for now, let's save some time. Let's use this first video and start seeing if it's a good fit for our class. So I like to preview my videos by watching through them. I check, is this covering the right content? Is the video explaining content in a way I would explain it to my students? Does this seem like something I would teach them or is connected with what we're doing in class? And so I like to watch through the entire video and also check the questions. I ask myself, is this the kind of thing I would ask my students? And I can look at what the answer choices are, experiment with those. And so I can actually submit them, see which answers are right or wrong. Now, because I'm the teacher, if I want to skip through these quickly, I have an option to skip questions. Don't worry, your students won't. That's just to help you preview videos easily. And if it's a good fit, just click copy on the video. Great. So this video has been copied. It's in our Edpuzzle library. Let's find it. We'll come back to our Edpuzzle homepage in the top left and visit My Content. Perfect. Now in My Content, we see that video we just copied. But now when you click on it, you'll see your name underneath the title. Because this is your copy of the video, you can do whatever you want. You can edit it however your students will need to be successful. So let's go ahead in the bottom right corner and edit this video. And there's a lot of stuff we can do. The first thing you might want to do to this video is cut out a piece of it. So we could crop out if there's a long introduction at the beginning. Great, we can get rid of that. Maybe at the end of the video, it becomes too complex for what our students want. Great, we can get rid of that. And if there's a piece in the middle, you can actually click Add Cut right here, and you're going to split the video into two pieces. And now you can drag either one of those pieces to remove a section in the middle of the video. And we can do that to as many pieces as we want. So maybe we want to cut out another section here. We'll just add a cut and drag away whatever section of the video we don't want. And so you can customize exactly what parts of the video and what content your students are seeing, which is really powerful. Now, another thing you might want to do is add a voiceover to a video. So voiceovers are a great way if you love the graphics, but don't love the explanation. This happened to me a lot with National Geographic footage. I loved the film, but the explanations were too complicated. So just pick the part of the video that you want to replace and click this big red Start Recording button in the top right. Then the video will play and you'll be able to narrate and explain the content however you want. And that section of the audio will be replaced with your voice. So you could do this for the entire video. You could do this for just one piece of the video like this, or you can actually add multiple voiceovers. So we have that first voiceover, and then we could go and let's add another voiceover here at the end. We'll just start recording, let the video keep playing, and we can put a second voiceover into the video. So that's a great way to let students hear your voice, hear the vocab you use in class, but the graphics of an existing video. I'm going to get rid of these for now, and we'll take a look at probably what most of you are interested in, which is the ability to add questions into a video. So the way I like to do this is I just come to the beginning, play the video, and then whenever I want to add a question, I just come over and click the type of question I want. I start most of my videos with an open-ended question. I might ask my students to remember something from a previous lesson. And that's a great way to help my students start activating some of that prior knowledge. And I think it's important that students see videos not just as something random extra work they're doing, but as a connected piece of their learning process. And so these types of open-ended questions can really help facilitate that mindset. Then we'll just go ahead and click save. And this question is embedded into the video. You can see that little teardrop at the bottom. Perfect. Now we'll continue, let the video keep playing. And when we get to a place where we want another question, just click the question again. So let's add a multiple choice about 5/4. Let's ask about the correct name for the fraction 5/4. And don't worry, you can type full equations into Edpuzzle. We have an equation editor. And so to show 5/4, I can select this little fraction icon and type 5/4. You get the hang of it quickly. And now I can put full math equations. Here it's just a fraction, but anything I want into these questions. Then I'll type out my answer choices. I'll have a correct answer choice, and then I can try and fool my students a little bit. You can add as many answer choices as you want, so you can have as many or as few options as you want. And of course, you can set which choices are correct or incorrect, and do other things like add photos if that's something you're interested in. Then you'll just come down to the bottom and click save. Great. Now we have a multiple choice question in our video. The last thing we'll look at is the ability to add notes to a video. So notes are a way for you to give a little more information or prompt your students to do something. And so you can type out to write down something in their notebook maybe. But why I really love notes are you can record audio notes. And so if you have a student who struggles to read, or a language learner, or if you just want students to hear your voice and get a prompt to do something, record an audio note, and that can be a huge help. And so I'd really encourage you to take advantage of this audio note feature if you have students who might need that help if they can't read a written out question. So we'll go ahead. I'm going to get rid of the audio note for now, though, and we'll save this main note into our video. Great. So we're almost done editing, but there were all of these pre-built questions as well. And now remember, that's a huge time saver, but you don't have to use them. Maybe I don't like this question. I think it's kind of confusing. Well, I'll just click the trash icon on the right side and I can get rid of it. It's gone. Or maybe I like another question, but I want to change the way it's written. Maybe I use different vocab in my class, or I would ask it in a different way. Just select this pencil icon right next to the trash and I can edit it. So I could reword this. Maybe I'll ask the question in a slightly different way. Or I could go ahead and modify any of the answer choices. So I could try and make it trickier, maybe a little less tricky, whatever I need. Then just click save and that updates. Great. So then once you've finished editing the video exactly as you like it, just click finish in the top right corner. We're back on this main video page. You can see all of those things we put in the video and we're ready to assign it. So on the bottom right corner, we're going to come over and click assign. And now you'll see a list of all of your classes. And it's easy to spot the Google ones. They have this little Google icon next to them. This was a math video, so let's assign it to our math class. And then we can go ahead and set a start date and an end date. So maybe you want to schedule an assignment in advance. Maybe you want to set when it's due. We can go ahead and do that. And this is going to track onto Google Classroom as well. Then we still get the option to prevent students from skipping or turn on or off closed captions. But there's this third button that says post on Google Classroom. I recommend every single one of you turn this on. It's the best, easiest, most effective way to share an Edpuzzle with your students. So let's go ahead and click assign now that it's going to post on Google Classroom. So when we click assign, this is going to take us to what looks like a pretty normal Edpuzzle assignment page. But if you look over on the right side of the screen, you'll see this box that lets you know this has been posted on Google Classroom, just so you can be sure. Now, of course, if you want to update anything, let's say we want to change the due date, you can do that straight from this page. We'll change the due date, and you can update that directly on Google Classroom, just like that. And so let's check that this all worked exactly as I'm promising. Let's go to our Google Classroom page, and I'm going to sign in. Let's make sure I sign into the correct account so that it's all linked up. And great, there's my math class. That's what I assigned it to. And here I can see that assignment. Posted a new assignment from Edpuzzle on adding mixed numbers. Now I could come to the instructions tab. You'll see the linked URL that students will click to access the assignment. And we can see that the due date is all there, ready to go for our students. And so that was a look at how to find videos on Edpuzzle, how to edit videos, and then how to assign them directly to Google Classroom. And I know that was a big chunk of covering things, and we went through it pretty quickly. So I want to give folks just about 20-30 seconds to process that. And I also want to ask another poll question to make sure that you all are still feeling good about what we're covering. So I just published this poll question asking, how confident do you feel in finding, editing, and assigning an Edpuzzle video? So the last 10 minutes or so that we just looked at all of this, let me know how you're feeling, and let's make sure that we're on the right track before we keep moving. So please take about 5 more seconds. I would appreciate if all of you could submit that poll for me. And I'm going to go ahead and click end. All right. Most of you are again in that somewhat category, which is a fine place to be. And I see some of you are in that a little bit as well, which is also a fine place to be. I would encourage you to just start logging into Edpuzzle, playing around with some videos. And I really deeply believe that once you do this once or twice, you're going to realize how simple it can be to find, edit, and assign an amazing video lesson to your class. So I really would encourage you to, after this webinar, start playing around with it. And I'm hopeful most of you can get into that very confident category very soon. Now, there is one thing I want to point out about assigning videos. And this is probably the thing that causes teachers the most difficulty with Google Classroom. And so if you're going to be assigning videos, please make sure you pay attention to this common mistake and make sure that you are not doing this when you assign videos. So let me flip you over to my screen. And let's say I had just finished making this video on number lines, and I want to assign it to my Google Classroom classes. So I come down, I click assign, and let's say I want to assign this to both classes. I'll click both of them, and sure, I'll set a due date, why not, on this assignment. But let's say for some reason I don't post to Google Classroom. Maybe I want to make my own post, or I just don't do this for some reason. And I go straight down and click assign. Okay. So now we're on this assignment page, but I still need to share it with my students. So I think to myself, okay, I'm going to come down and I see where it says share assignment. And there's this URL, there's this link to the assignment that I can now share with my classes. So I'll go ahead, I'll copy this and I'll take that assignment link and I'll bring it to my first Google Classroom class and I'll paste it in. And then I'll bring it to my next Google Classroom class and paste it in. And boom, I should be good to go, right? No, you cannot do this. This will not work. And some of your students will not be able to access this assignment. The reason is each assignment link is unique to the class that it's been assigned to. So you can't share one assignment link between multiple classes. So if you wanted to do this, what you would have to do is come to your classes, find your math class, find the assignment, and copy the assignment link for your math class. And then I could put that in my one Google Classroom class. That one's going to work fine. But for my other class, I need to go get a separate URL. So I'll go back to my classes. I'll select the writing class. And then I'll be able to copy the assignment link, which is totally different from this class. And so the most common issue we see is people copying and pasting one assignment link to multiple classes. Please make sure you're not doing this. And that's why I really recommend just using our Post on Google Classroom button. It's going to guarantee that there are no problems. So if you always turn on that option to post directly to Google Classroom, this is never going to happen. But if you don't, make sure that you're not copying and pasting the same assignment link to multiple classes. And so just to make sure that you all understood that, I want to pull a little bit of a teacher move. And I'm just publishing a poll right now asking, can you copy the same assignment link into multiple classes? So show me that you understood that common mistake. Take about 5 or 7 seconds to answer this, and then we will keep moving with the rest of today's presentation. All right, I'm going to go ahead and click end poll. Oh, and wonderful. Most of you realized you cannot do this. Please rewatch this section from the webinar if you run into problems. You must have a different link for each class. All right, so let's keep rolling. And the next thing I want to cover is what this will look like for a student And this is one of the best benefits of using Google Classroom. It's much easier for your students to access an Edpuzzle assignment. It takes almost no effort on their part. Let's take a look. So I'm actually enrolled in a student in one Google Classroom class. And so I'll be moving as a student right now on my screen. And I'm a student right here. And I can see my teacher has posted all of these assignments into my class. I just click the assignment I want to complete. And then I'll see the URL of my assignment to access it. So I'll click on that URL. And then all I need to do is sign in using the same Google account that I use for Google Classroom. I never need to join a class. I never need a class code or to create an account. But it's very important that you sign in using the same Google account that you're using for Google Classroom. Otherwise, you'll get an error because you're not technically a part of that class. So if students have multiple accounts, be careful with that. But as long as they use the same Google account for everything, you're all set. They'll just click sign in with that account and they'll be able to access the video. Now that we're in, it's a regular Edpuzzle video. It looks just like a YouTube video, but it has all of those extra features that we took the time to embed. So as students are watching, they'll have to respond to questions. So they'll be thinking, they'll be engaging more with the content. Here, volume is how much space an object takes up. And then students get instantaneous feedback on whether they got an answer right or incorrect. Then they can keep watching the video. It'll keep playing. And we have this another question coming up in just a second or two. So we'll go ahead and get to that question. And let's say I'm not sure. Well, Edpuzzle has this option as a student. Let's click rewatch. Let's try that one more time. That's going to bring me back to my last checkpoint so I can see all of the content again and make sure I understand what I'm learning. Perfect. Now I know the correct answer to this problem. I can select it, submit, and I get that instantaneous feedback. Another thing I want to point out, students cannot skip through the video. So if I try and fast forward, notice it's locked. We prevented skipping. And so you can feel confident all of your students are going to watch all of the video. Now here's this last question we're going to answer. We can see there are a total of 8 squares in this shape, or 8 cubes. We get that instant feedback, and now we're almost done. So once we wrap up the video, students will be able to see this little "You're done" mark and show their results. I got all of these questions right. Excellent. And because there were only multiple choice questions in this video, it auto-graded and it automatically submitted on Google Classroom. Now, if you have multiple choice questions, it's not automatically grading. So if you have open-ended questions, you need to make sure students are going back to Google Classroom and that they just click turn in like they would for any other assignment so that you know it's time to go and grade something because they've finished the assignment. And so that's the student view. As I said, the best part is there's no class code. Students don't even have to create an Edpuzzle account. All they do is sign in exactly the same as if it were Google Classroom, and they can access all of your videos. And so hopefully you're feeling pretty excited about this. It's a way easier way to make sure students are watching their Edpuzzle videos. And the Edpuzzle videos have so much benefit compared to what your students would get out of just a regular YouTube video. So it doesn't take any extra effort on your students' part, and they will have a much more effective learning experience. For me, it's why it's a no-brainer that every time you assign a video to your Google Classroom class, you should do it through Edpuzzle. Now, if you're not convinced, the last reason that might convince you is let's take a look at the grades that Edpuzzle keeps track of for each video and all of the analytics that you can get. So I'll flip you over. This will be our last time looking at my screen. And this time, once again, I'll be moving as a teacher. And so I'm going to go into my Google Classroom class where I'm a teacher. Now here I can see an assignment that I posted earlier. And actually, let me go to the grades tab. So under the grades tab, I will see all of these grades. And I didn't type these in. Edpuzzle automatically synced every student's grade with my Google Classroom gradebook. No effort on my part. Now everything is organized. All my grades are in one place. That being said, I recommend that you still come back to Edpuzzle. And it's because we have all these extra analytics for you as well. So here's that same assignment. and we'll see those same grades that we were just looking at, but we can also get more. If we click on a student's name, we can get much deeper analytics, like how long did they watch the video for? How many times did they rewatch each section of the video? So you can tell, are my students really investing effort and rewatching things if they're confused? What questions are people getting correct or incorrect? Are there trends across the class? And you could actually see individual student responses to every question. This gives you superpowers as a teacher. There is no more guesswork about what students do and do not understand. Let's say you want to pull some students in a small group tomorrow. You know exactly where the misconceptions are, and so you're able to be 100% effective with your time. And so these analytics are a game changer compared to what you could traditionally get with a YouTube video. And I think they're just one more reason that every video you assign should be assigned through Edpuzzle. And so that brings us right around to the end of today's presentation. Stick around for these last 3 minutes, and we'll make sure to get all of you a certificate of completion. But so far today, we've covered how you can import your classes and students from Google Classroom directly into Edpuzzle. We looked at how you can post assignments directly from Edpuzzle onto your Google Classroom page. And we also saw how you can automatically sync your grades between Edpuzzle and Google Classroom, and some other ways to give yourself superpowers with those Edpuzzle analytics. So thank you so much for investing the time in learning how these two tools work together. We're really excited to see you and your students start using our platform soon. And as promised, I want to offer each of you a certificate of completion. So you should have just seen that pop up on the right side of your screen. And if you all could visit that link, you'll just need to put in your name so we can make sure we get it correct on the certificate. And you'll be able to earn a certificate of completion and get some PD credit for tuning into today's webinar. So once again, thank you so much. Remember, my email is at the top of this chat window, and it's not going to vanish once we turn off. And please feel free to email me if you have any questions, if something isn't working, or if you need a little bit more support to start using Edpuzzle with Google Classroom. So thank you all, and I look forward to talking to each of you sometime in the near future. Thanks. Bye-bye.